So the things I paint are a direct result of my life experiences. And that is not uncommon. Art is often a form of pure self-expression, and when I place value on things like travel and adventure, chances are they become very present in my art as well. Sometimes I draw inspiration from older events, like let's say the years I spent living, working and traveling in Canada, for example, and other times it's more recent things like the Euro road trip I did together with my good friend Paul earlier this year. But there's also times when I let myself being inspired by other creative, ambitious people living life to the fullest. One of them is Australian filmmaker and storyteller Beau Miles. He's known for building things out of other people's junk, paddling 4 days to work, planting a small forest in a day, or even eating his own body weight in beans, which is nuts. I wanted to paint him in one of my murals for a while, but I didn't just want to paint someone else's face onto a wall, so I went ahead and contacted Beau to ask him if he was alright with me painting him. To my surprise, it didn't even take a day for him to get back to me with a big fat thumbs up. So to get started, I took a screenshot out of one of his films that would give me a good starting point, a good base for the mural I envisioned. I made a few adjustments and then continued to draw directly onto the photo on my iPad. For execution, I went back to the old factory, of course. I had a little bit of a stroll around to find a good sized wall for my mural, and then eventually settled on this one for two reasons. One, the dimensions of that wall fit quite nicely to my concept art, and number two, it's end of October and over 20 degrees. It's pretty crazy, but I will take advantage of that to paint what is probably my last outdoor mural for the year. And as always, the day starts with a little bit of gardening work. You know, having an entire abandoned factory to paint in is awesome. But consequently, it means there's nobody taking care of keeping things tidy. And it is incredible to see how quickly nature claims back its territory. So this is an untreated brick wall. So first thing I'm going to do is apply a first layer of just regular wall paint. Sorry, buddy. Unfortunately, that has to go. I'm not being super neat here. It's just my first layer. It's not a commissioned work. The artwork doesn't intend to stay on there forever. So I'm not focusing too heavy on doing a perfect first layer of paint here. So this is enough for what I'm intending to do. So this is the doodle grid I always do to bring my photo or sketch onto the wall. Helps me maintain right proportions. Always key, always important. Yeah, just use a grid to bring everything on the wall and don't worry about messing up your proportions. That makes things way easier and look way better in the end. So I'm erasing the doodle grid. I don't need that anymore. Sketch is on the wall and the day is coming to an end already. So I'm packing up all my stuff, coming back the next day to pick up where I've left off. Luckily it's still sunny, very enjoyable to paint during that weather. Being out there in the t-shirt is kind of crazy, but I mean, I'll take that. So the day before I didn't paint the left side of the wall. I wasn't sure if I want to use the entire wall, but I felt it looked kind of silly to just leave that unpainted, so I decided to make my canvas, so to speak, a little bit wider and put some paint on the left side of the wall as well. Obviously I'm mixing paint again, so it's gonna have a little bit of a different color. It's more of a bluish tone here, but that's totally fine. Gives the artwork a little bit more character, makes everything a little bit more interesting. So I'm totally fine with having different colors here. Yeah, once again, as you can see, very rough painting, always knowing I'm going to spray paint over this in a second. Really a joy to just go straight over the entire wall, no matter if there's a door or a window in between. Just gonna paint all across it. Very, very fun. Alright, so first layer background all done. I think we're gonna make a very beautiful sky background now with spray paint. Oops. I'm doing the background now. Decided to do a purplish, bluish, pinkish sky to give it a little bit of this epic sundowner feeling, you know. Yeah, just working my way from left to right and top to bottom and all across, and don't really have a plan where I'm going. I'm just putting paint wherever I feel paint is needed. Yeah, like I said, not really following a system there. Just trying to fill the entire background with paint. Yeah, I really dig the color combination of purple and pink, and even this light pink over there. I like those fadings a lot. Looks pretty cool. So now starting painting the main subject, which is Beau's face. I'm once again gonna be all over the place here, painting wherever I feel like paint is needed. So I'm really not that structured when it comes to making art or painting murals in this case. Yeah, so painting off of a photo is a lot of comparing, a lot of looking onto your reference photo and then putting that exact paint or shade into place. It can be a bit tedious, but I feel like if you get things right, it feels very satisfying to look at what you've done. Always takes a little bit longer than I initially anticipate whenever I paint a mural. But that's alright, I'm not in a rush. I want to paint the best thing I possibly can, and I also want to make a good video about it. So now that the background is done, like most of it is done at least, I can do the part that's actually the most joyful part, like painting the face and focusing on details and stuff like that. So that right now is actually what I'm doing that for. It's really a joy. All right, it's the next day. I just got back to the wall, and it's always such a good sign when you get back and you had a night to think about everything and let it sink in. And you come back and you think it looks pretty good. So I painted Beau this shovel onto his backpack, but I don't feel like it's straight enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my chalk box to create 2 straight lines. So I'll be able to make a proper straight shaft for the shovel. Goes until here. Okay, let's see. I mean, that kind of looks all right. Alright, there you have it. This is how you paint a mural from start to finish. Overall, it took me about 20 hours to complete the entire painting, and I'm super stoked about it. I've been doing a lot of color experiments recently, and yeah, I feel like I figured out a few things that make my artwork look better. It feels like I'm onto something here, and that actually feels really good. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I did painting this, and I hope to see you in the next video.